it's Dr. Meredith Watson, the unapologetic therapist, the creator of the Phoenix Therapy Method. I want to come on a riff. It's about time, right? Um, a lot of people have a lot of hangups or belief systems or core belief values that they don't necessarily talk about. Maybe they're uncomfortable, maybe they're scared, maybe they're afraid they'll repel people. And that did cross my mind, but more than anything else, what crossed my mind is, do I really feel these ways that I'm about to reveal? And the truth is, yes. In fact, feeling them and giving into them and digging into them and leaning into them is very much a part of who I am. So if I want people to be engendered by my personality and enthralled by me and really endeared to me, then I guess I have to be completely honest with who I am so you know what you're getting into, right? Uh, a colleague of mine was talking about forgiveness today, and I was thinking, what is my definition of forgiveness? I go back and forth. I've had different views about it over the course of my life, and forgiveness is a big issue for me. But forgiveness, I guess, at its core for me means it doesn't rile me up. It doesn't upset me or it doesn't depress me. It doesn't move me in one way or another. It's just kind of an experience that I went through. I take the lesson from it. I sift through it, and it no longer causes any level of emotion. It's just kind of a thing. It's like it's raining, it's pouring, it's sunny. It doesn't actually, sun actually gets me excited, but it doesn't really rile up any emotion. And some days the things that I work on the most forgiving, some days I'm great at it and other days I'm not. And it has a lot to do with my trust issues. I don't trust easily. I have a lot of trust issues. I dare to say that probably the hardest thing for me to do is truly, without reservation or price tag, trust, because it takes me giving of something that I can't always get back, and it takes of leaning into something that may or may not be within my realm of control. And I'm a control freak, type A personality, so not having the ability to be in complete control does unnerve me somewhat. um, I don't I have four younger siblings. I have a daughter. I've been married for a number of years, had been married for a number of years. And so sharing, you would think would be commonplace for me, but I don't like to share. I just don't. Like, I'll give it, but I don't want to share it, if that makes any sense at all. Um, I don't want to talk about what other people feel in relationship to what I want. Like, what I want is just what I want. If I want pizza, I want to go out and get pizza. If I want a drink, I want to go out and get a drink. If I want to take a road trip, I don't want to ask permission. I don't really want to discuss it. It's more of, this is what I'm doing. Feel how you will or may, but this is what I'm doing. I don't really feel the need or desire to really discuss it. I don't want to discuss it. I don't want your opinion on it, really. Um, I don't want to be beholden to anyone. I have a hard time leaning into the conversation of feminine and masculine energy and receiving and giving. I'm giving. I'm very giving, but for receiving, it's so hard because for me, growing up, it was like if you gave to someone, that means you had control of them. They owned you. You owe them your firstborn. They're going to talk about it and remind you of it. And so giving is so much easier for me than receiving. I have a hard time receiving, which opens the door to a lot of other concerns that I have. I just don't want to have to justify what I'm doing, where I'm going, who I am, what I'm like. I don't want to justify anything. I don't feel the need to justify, and I always wonder why other people feel the need to justify. It is what it is. But of course, if you know me for any level of years, if you've ever dug into who I truly am, I'm the girl who wanted to name her child Solver Kairos, which is about self-governing and being autonomous and time and fluidity of time. And there's meaning behind that for me. I really believe that, co-creating with the universe is one thing, but mankind who can be fickle and flip the script in a skinny minute, it's a very slippery slope, as so I put it. And in most cases, I don't care. It's just the way it is. My grandmother and I used to have conversation after conversation after conversation about her telling me how I should care more, and I just don't. I don't care. My birth mama, if you ever hear her talk, she'll tell you she doesn't give a flying flip, or she doesn't give a rat's, fill in the blank. And it's funny because of all the traits about her that I don't emulate, that's one I do. Like, I don't care. I really don't care. I have issues that move me in social justice and right of of people's rights bother me, or that's something I'm passionate about. But just the nitty gritty, I just always feel like there's something more important that we could be focusing our energy on. When my grandmother passed away, I really threw all caution to the wind. I really don't care now, like, because any level of concern and care I had was because I wanted to impress her and do right by her and appease her and keep her level of respect. But she's gone now, so it's like I really don't give a flying flip. I just don't. Because I deep down feel like a lot of people, not everyone, I'm not fickle. I'm the same person. If you've known me any of the almost 4 decades I've been alive, I've pretty much been the same the whole time. People are fickle. They can turn on a dime. They are quick to leave the scene or not show up, or in a hurry to throw shade or throw you under the bus. And maybe it's just the people that I'm drawn to. Maybe it's the people that are drawn to me. I'm just kind of unnerved by that, so I don't want to trust anyone to the point where they have that capability or capacity to throw me under a bus. And when you're a wife and a mother and a friend and a daughter and you're all these different people, sometimes it's hard to be authentically yourself because you're trying to fit into this box. And I totally understand that. I stayed in a box for almost 4 decades, created by someone else, and almost suffocated to death. And in the end, it was still more important that I should have given those things the love, acceptance, validation, belonging to myself instead of looking for a group or a friend or anybody to stamp their approval on my life and give that at a girl and appease and, kind of be that people pleasing. I'm a recovering addict of people pleasing and being a, doormat. And I teach my daughter how important it is to have me time and to have alone time and to care for yourself and to know yourself and love yourself and know that you are your best friend and you are your most vital resource. At the end of the day, you have yourself. People can leave, people can come, but you always have yourself, which has its benefits and others. But it's important that I teach her these things because I don't want her to be 20, 30, 40, 50 and above wishing someone had told her to take care of herself and to use self-care as not a luxury but a necessity, a must. Because you come into this world, unless you are, one of those attached Siamese twins or conjoined twins, you come into this world by yourself, and technically you leave alone. So it's important that you know you, and you're with you the whole life. So you know your hangups, and if you're honest with yourself and you do self-discovery and mindset work, you know who you are at the core better than anybody else, even though I give my mom credit for knowing me pretty well. So it's important that, that's something that I teach her, because as much as I don't want to be, I know one day she's going to be here without me, and I don't want that. I want to be with her forever, not in this hovering way, but to protect her. But she needs to have that self-love and that understanding of who she is so that when I am gone, she will know. And I don't want to leave her anytime soon. But, you have to prepare these things. You can't live in this bubble where you think you're going to always be there, because you may not. And doing self-discovery, I learned I'm not the 9 to 5 person. I'm just not. I don't like to be told what to do. I take criticism differently than a lot of people do. I have the good girl complex. If you've known me, like I said, any number of years, I have the good girl complex. I like to be the good girl. I don't want to get in trouble. Who does? Well, I don't, but some people do, I guess. So that's one of the reasons I started my own practice, the MACSJC coaching practice. And we do more than coaching, but it's really important. And one of the things I realized about opening my practice is the real deep subconscious fear of failing. I can't fail. I know there are people waiting for me to fall on my face, and I can't give them that pleasure. I won't. It just won't happen. Given that apparently most people don't believe this, but I'm very introverted and I am very shy. So marketing the way I market my business and my practice is very untraditional, but I do market. So if you ever want to, talk about the kinds of things that I do, then feel free to reach out to me. I hacked my own journal to come out so boldly, but I knew that it was timed so people can really get a feel of who I truly am and read kind of a revamp for the people who've known me for any number of years. But if you don't know me, if you're just wondering who is this woman blabbering on about one thing or the other, like I said, I'm Dr. Meredith Watson, the unapologetic therapist, the creator of the Phoenix Therapy Method. I predominantly work with passionate women who struggle with codependency, addiction, lack of money, so they can become rich and unapologetic and business owners consistently doing it their own way. And I really believe that pain, whether it's mental, physical, emotional, psychological, addiction, comes from and is deeply rooted within unresolved emotions and trauma, which come directly from and correlate directly with not seeking that love, acceptance, validation, and belonging inside, but rather looking outside of yourself for that, and then being disappointed severely when it doesn't come, especially in the packages we wish it would come in. And that was a big thing for me. And I created 3 digital products. I merged with a wonderful software company to market one of my products, but the other 2 I market on my own. And they are business building, unresolved trauma, emotional, physical, emotional pain release topics, and business building and creating wealth. And there's nothing wrong with having money. I mean, I don't know why that's so terrible. I guess people with money, some people that we know have money and they use it wrong, but money is a tool. It's an ever-ending energetic source. It's just like a knife. You can use it to cut your meat or you can use it to cut someone's throat, but you still have to make a conscious choice of what you're going to do with it. I choose to be philanthropic. I choose to do right. I choose to pay debt. I don't use it to get, hit men or anything. But if you know one, I'm just kidding, sort of. Anyway, I have endless portals because I feel like different people learn different ways. Some people are auditory, some people are visual, some people are kinesthetic where they like to touch what they're learning. And see, sometimes I'm immature, but it's just who I am. So I do have 3 portals or 3 digital products that I offer: business building, passive income, like I said, mental, physical, emotional, psychological pain release, unresolved trauma release. I use bioenergetic healing. I use holistic health. I tend to do things untraditionally. That's just how I've always run my life. It's probably how I'll always run my life. If you would love to get to know me better, if you want to get to know what kind of products I offer, if it's a good fit for you, feel free to reach out to me. I'll try to remember to put the links to those portals and products in the comments. If I don't, feel free to PM me or DM me, depending on what social media platform you're following me on. But I hope this made sense. I hope this resonated. And if you feel like how you feel is abnormal or feeling such a way, coming out with how you feel might repel people. It's kind of an old saying, the right people won't mind, and I can't remember the saying. I always forget what it is when I'm trying to say it, but the right people will be endeared to you and love you no matter what. And if you do repel people, know that those people probably needed to fall away anyway. And now is as good a time as any. They're probably dragging you down anyway. And I wish you love and light. I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. I hope you can see me. I'm trying out new lighting. I usually don't care about lighting. I use my podcast where it's just my voice. But I decided to come out and show you my beautiful face. So I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. And I don't know where the end button is for this live, but I'm going to finally end it, and I will see you guys the next time.